Welcome to all Caribbean entrepreneurs. If you've been ready and waiting to take your business digital and get paid online while you sip something strong on the beach, this podcast is for you. We'll hear from the Caribbean's finest entrepreneurs on topics like e-commerce, business development, brand building, social media, their wins and failures. This is the only place in the region helping you navigate the digital age from the Caribbean's perspective. This is Digipreneur FM. And now, let's give it up for the Digiboss himself, Mr. Karan Rose.
Thank you to everybody tuning in to another episode of the Digipreneur FM podcast. And as usual, it is your boy, Mr. Rose. Now, DJ, can you fade us all the way out? Fade us all the way out so we can talk to the people. It is Tuesday, October 31st, 2023, and this is episode 139. Folks, I am back. I am back from 2 weeks in the Bahamas, and the time just flew. I feel like that Bahamas trip has to get its own episode because like so much happened. I think that's what's gonna. I think the Bahamas trip probably needs its own episode. But yeah, so much happened. I was there for 3 events, so 3 conferences happened. So the first one was the Organization of American States, OAS, the Cybersecurity Symposium. So I was hosting that for the 2-day conference or the 2-day symposium. Then the second one was the Caribbean Investment Forum. I was there more of in a media capacity. So just, man, so much things we got to see that's going to be coming on board and hopefully coming on board. You know how things go. And then the third conference was the BTC, the Bahamas Telecommunication Company, their innovation conference, and I was a speaker. I was a keynote speaker at the innovation conference. So I thought what was really dope. I thought what was really dope about the experience was that it was one of those moments where I was able to kind of have an external, kind of an outer body experience in the sense that I got to witness how my brand has grown over the years. Because that trip, I was there in 3 different capacities, 3 different organizations, 3 different capacities, 3 completely different crowds. The Cybersecurity Symposium, that had a different crowd. That was government officials from all over the world. And just to tell you how crazy that event was, the cybersecurity director for the White House was one of the speakers. The cybersecurity director for the White House was one of the speakers. There had people from the Pentagon. There had people from the Army. There had people from the Spanish government. I believe there was something like over 60 countries represented, with delegates from a variety of different arms of government, private contractors. Like, it was a whole lot of people, and security was extremely tight in that bad boy. Heck, I knew this was something crazy when there was a couple of guests. It was about 3 speakers, where before they came on, they asked everybody to put their phones away, do not take any pictures, because these speakers' identities are extremely sensitive due to their roles within government in cybersecurity, right? So they didn't have their real pictures up. Heck, I didn't even know if those were their real names, but you couldn't take any pictures. You couldn't even have your phone out. Their pictures were not up, and they were not advertised in the in the flyers and stuff like that. So it was, it was really interesting. And man, listening to the cybersecurity symposium, we as a region, we have some real problems. Like we have some real problems. And I mean, you're having the symposium because they're gonna put things in place to try to solve those problems, but it's not a quick fix and it's not a simple fix. And I think I came back to Trinidad with like after going through all three conferences, I came back with some insights that, you know what, like here in Trinidad, we're we're not doing we're not having the right conversations. We're not having the right conversations. We're not. It doesn't feel like we are trying to make a dent into some of the problems that we face. Um, it's just crazy. It's crazy. And being there, Bahamas had like an entire month filled of events and conferences. I just named three. I was there for three, right? And the week before that was the Web3 summit that happened in the Bahamas, and there was a few more that happened, and I just felt like, yo, Bahamas like Jamaica has become, even Barbados. So Bahamas, Jamaica, Barbados, I feel like are three places that are they've identified the problems and they are actively working to solve them, and they've also become this hub for investors, entities, companies around the world to invest in the region or invest in the countries, but then also be a hub. Like, yo, let's have these summits in the Caribbean. Let's go have it in the Bahamas. Let's go have it in. So there's a lot of people that were there that might not be doing business in the Caribbean, but they are there, and you're able to network and rub shoulders and get to know some people from around the world who are doing some incredible things. You know, there was just a lot to unpack. And because because I still myself haven't unpacked everything, again, I'm gonna have to. I definitely think I'm gonna have to do a separate episode on its own, just to kind of recap everything that happened at the last 2 weeks in the Bahamas. But it was amazing. I definitely got to play when I could play. I worked when I worked, but I got to play when I could play. And I love the fact that I spent a week in the Baha Mar, which is their newest resort. I got to spend a week in Atlantis. Atlantis is beautiful. Like, man, I feel good and I feel inspired. And I think what has me feeling inspired is that, the more you build your brand, the more you get better at what you do, the more you help to become part of the solutions. It's just opening up opportunities, not just within Trinidad, but, again, you're opening doors outside of the region. And yeah, doors are opening. So it was really good to just kind of be there again. It just helped me. It just motivated me more to continue to do what I've been doing. And I will be gone again I'm leaving again. And this time I will be out in Colombia, and I'll give you guys some more details. I'm probably going to drop maybe one or two more episodes before I leave. But the episode before I leave, I'm just waiting to confirm some details, but I'm going for an event. I'm going for a conference. So I'll drop some more details then, closer to the time. But yeah, go in Colombia again. And just to be in this situation where, yo, you can work, travel, and you're working to kind of find that balance between work and travel, whatever. Just to be able to do that on your own name. You're not working for a company that's sending you here, there, whatever. Even though ain't nothing wrong with that, but just to get booked on your own strength in a variety of countries and whatnot, it's an incredible, incredible feeling. And it's something that, I want all of my entrepreneurs and business owners who are tuning into the podcast. That's something I'd love for you. I mean, if traveling is something that you want to do, I would love to see you guys getting booked for your own brand, your own name, being pulled into events and conferences and symposiums around the world, to do workshops around the world, to share a stage or to speak or just have you in the room. And I want that for everybody. I want that for everybody that's doing amazing things. So, what are we diving into today for today's podcast episode? Well, I wanted to do an episode talking about digital customer experience. And it's been on my mind for a while. I've shot some videos, I just haven't put it out there as yet. But I wanted to do an episode on the fact that Websource here in Trinidad and Tobago, for those that are outside of TNT, Websource by far has the best digital customer experience. It's not close. It's not close. And because they have the best digital customer experience, I believe it has translated into the best. Or you know what? I won't go that far, but I will say that they are top 3 best customer experiences overall in the country. I firmly, and I don't even think it's up for debate. I don't think it's up for debate. I said this is one of those things where I said what I said. I don't even wanna. It's not a debate for me. And this is not a paid episode. Let me just put that out there. This is not a paid episode. I have never been in contact with Websource. Just using them and using a couple of their other freight forwarders, aka skyboxes, and just overall, just being a consumer. Websource has the best digital customer experience. And because they have the best digital customer experience, it has freed up their resources to provide a better customer experience on other fronts. So let me break down why Websource has the best digital customer experience, in my opinion. So let's start with their website. Now I have how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 freight forwarders, aka Skybox companies' websites up, right? I have them all up right now. When you look at Websource, Caribbean Airlines Jetpack, Aeropost, CSF, Tropical Express, Websource by far has the best, most user-friendly, cleanest website of all of the platforms. Of all of them. Again, not even close. It's not even up for debate. They have the best website. It's the cleanest. It's the most user-friendly. It's mobile responsive, so even if you're not using their app, right? If you don't want to download the app and you just want to use their website to conduct all your business, their website is mobile responsive and extremely easy to use. It loads fast. SSL certificates are all there. You're good to go. All right? They have the best website. And it's extremely easy to use. I also love the fact, because not everybody, before I stick my foot in my mouth, let me just go and check. But not everybody has their shipping calculators on their website. All right? Not everybody has their shipping calculators on their website. Jetpack does, Websource does, Aeropost doesn't, or at least I'm not seeing it. Estimates rates. CSF does? Yeah, is this rates? They have their rates. Estimates, what is estimates? Estimates, okay. Estimates, they have it there. Tropical Express. Does Tropical Express have one? Yeah, they have one as well. All right, that's fine. All right. But the best website in terms of user experience, speed, simplicity, cleanness, mobile responsiveness definitely is Websource. All right. You can register online. They make it easy to sign up. There is no yearly fee like some of these other freight forwarders want to charge. You sign up and you get started for free. All right. They make buying the packages they make shopping online easy. All right. But I think for the most part, getting your items in terms of how all these skybox companies operate, I think is relatively the same across the board. All right. But I will say we're talking about digital customer experience. Right out the gate, Websource has the best website. All right. Now, here's where things get interesting. Websource also has their mobile app. All right. Now, to me, in my opinion, once you have a really dope website that's mobile responsive, I do not think you need an app. I think an application is just another customer journey that you have to map out and another step for people to do. And you don't necessarily need an app if you have a mobile responsive website. That's just my opinion, right? But they have the app, and the app is extremely clean. It works very well, and it is very good. And on the app, you can do pretty much the same things like you do on the website. So I'm just firing it up right now. So you log in with your account, all right? You get to see all of the items that are delivered, that are ready for pickup in transit, and if there's an exception or if there's tags. You get to search for any packages that you might have ordered. You get your QR code, and I'll get to the QR code in a bit. You have your shipping calculator, and you have your notifications tab. Again, pretty much everything that you could do on the website, you have in an app. There's a couple other things that you can do that I think is very interesting. So let's just say if you want to have your friends collect your packages on your behalf, you can add your friends to your friends list in the app, right? And your friends now become authorized people to come and collect on your behalf, which I think is extremely good, right? You can pre-alert inside the app. You also have a how-to section. So I think what sets Websource apart in a major way is they have introduced all of this new tech, all right? So you have their website, you have the mobile app. They have reduced the amount of staff inside of the customer service building, and they have about, I think, like 6 self-checkout kiosks, and they have like 2 people on the right for customer service. Most of the time, it's just one person because everybody's doing a self-checkout, all right? But they have the how-to section on the app to show you how to do everything that they're asking you to do. They have a how-to on how to pay via the app, how to get your eBay invoice, how to invoice on a mobile phone, how to get your Amazon invoice, how to use the shipping calculator. All right? They have all of that. And those are videos that you can watch that link to their YouTube channel. So they have a YouTube channel showing you a bunch of things that they're asking you to do, and they're training you on how to do it. They're one of the only companies in Trinidad that is training their customers how to do business with them. Everybody else, the banks, the grocery stores, everybody else, they just drop the technology on you and just expect people to use it. But keep forgetting that a lot of the A lot of these people have never even left the country, have never left the island, and have never seen some of these things. And you're just asking them to utilize these tools and systems, and money's involved. And they're like, nah, man, I'm not going to do it, because if I make a mistake, you're not going to help me. Or if I make a mistake, it's gonna be a problem. You're gonna have an attitude. A lot of these companies are not even friendly to deal with, even when they are in the wrong or people need help. They're not even friendly. So people would just rather stick to what they know rather than try something new and mess up. And then it's a problem to get their money back, or it's just more hassle than it really needs to be. But Websource is on the YouTube channel, in their app, in their stores, every platform, every tool, every piece of technology, they have videos, write-ups, everything is there in their physical stores or online platforms to teach you how to utilize their services. And they've made it idiot-proof. If you've used their self-checkout, they have made it idiot-proof. They've made it idiot-proof. And if you don't want to use the tech, they still have somebody at the front desk that you can do what you are accustomed doing. And since they've opened that second building some years ago, and now they have the app, if you use the app and you save your credit card on the app and you pay for your packages on the app, you don't have to go into the customer service building. You just head to the second building and scan your QR code. It understands you've already paid for it, and it then dispatches your products to the front. That, my friends, is a major part as to why Websource has the best digital customer experience. And this is what kills me, You go online, you see all these people talk about, this is in Trinidad, specifically Trinidad. Technology is replacing people. We don't always want to deal with people. We don't always want to do with the tech. Our culture is people. We want to do with people. And then you get online and you're cursing out every single company because you never get good customer experience. You know how many times I've made posts and I've asked people, who are your top 5 companies for customer service? And people can only get out 1 or 2. And it's usually because they know somebody there, not one individual treats them right, or they can call somebody in that organization to get something done, and it's not something that's a standard thing across the board. So you complain that we are a people culture, and we rather do it people than the technology. But then you could never name more than 2 companies that you get good customer service from. Before Websource implemented the app, before they implemented self-checkout, you'd go to Websource and their lines were around right around the complex. Now, you're hard-pressed to find a line because Websource themselves are still offering delivery. So they have multiple channels for you to conduct business with them. So you can do business with them via the website. You could do business with them via in-store, self-checkout, or see the human. Or you can do business with them via the app. And you could either go in and collect your packages hassle-free, or they have the delivery drivers coming out to deliver your products. Pay via the app, and and when the driver shows up, he could just throw your package out the window, you catch, and you go back inside. So they have a diverse range of services that allow you to have a great experience regardless of which segment of the population you are in. You want to speak to a human? They got that. You want to do with the tech? They got that. You want to do pickup? They got that. You want to get delivery? They got that. So the convenience is out of this world. And it is reliable. I have never had an issue with any of their channels. So if I wanted to pay via the app, it was never a situation where, oh, you paid via the app and then, the driver says, no, he's not seeing it. Or you go in and you're scanning your QR code and it's telling you, no, it's not, you haven't paid, pay again, and they're cussing up a storm or whatever the case is. Haven't had that situation. And what I was saying earlier is that because they have really good digital customer experience, it's allowed them to give better customer service, is because now they're not bogged down with everything else. So now if you need to go in and you need to speak to somebody, because everybody else is doing, the majority of people are using self-checkout, right? Heck, they started off with 2 self-checkout machines. I come back a couple weeks later, there's 6. Clearly, people are utilizing them. So now that there's more self-checkout machines and people are lining up for that, and you can pay via card at the self-checkout machine, now if you have a question, we have a problem, there is a human right there, and there's no lineup to go deal with the human. When you email them, you get a response. When you call them, you're getting a response. Somebody's answering. And you're not waiting no bank lines. I think the most I've waited was about 5 minutes. All right. But I don't think I called this year. I don't think I've called this year. Now, where else are you going for service like that? There's nowhere else I can think of that offers all of those conveniences to do business with an organization. Look, Digicel. Yo, everybody right now is roasting the amount of screenshots I've seen with Digicel this week alone. Digicel's app never works. Digicel's app never works. I seen somebody in Trinidad post a screenshot saying, yo, why does Digicel think I'm in Jamaica? And the bill was like 200,000 Jamaican dollars. And they're like, yo, what is going on? I've never even been to Jamaica. Why is my account showing Jamaica? Digicel's app never works. You call in Digicel. Like, I had to call. So coming back from the trip, I come home and I'm seeing red lights on my modem. I'm like, what the hell? I called Digicel. It took me 30 minutes to get in contact with somebody at Digicel because the Digicel's line just kept disconnecting me. Getting in touch with Digicel reps is a pain. An absolute pain. All right? Digicel's app never works. The customer service for phone calls, you're waiting long. So where else are you going where you're getting a customer service, a customer experience like the way that you do with Websource? So there really isn't many companies that I can think of that offer that great digital customer experience. Heck, even think about how many businesses do you do business with online? Think about that for a second, right? Courts, e-commerce is trash. It's a nightmare. Who else is there? PriceSmart? Right? Well, right now we ain't trying to give PriceSmart our credit card details after their entire debacle with double charging people or charging people who have not used their card in 2+ months and then refunding them because they charged people in US dollars, refunding them back in TT dollars, and people lost money. And then they just never really came out in a timely manner to address the issue. How many companies really have a good digital customer experience? not be mobile. Definitely not be mobile. Not Digicel. Not PriceSmart. Not Quartz. Listen to me. There's none that even come to mind. There's none that even come to mind. And I have racked my brain as to who has a good digital customer experience. Who? None. Nobody else comes to mind. Can't think of it. And when I ask the question, when I ask these questions publicly, because I have asked this exact question publicly, the only one that ever really comes up when people can think of it would be Websource. But everybody else is kind of like, don't know. And it turns out to be like a very good question because people just don't know who provides a good digital customer experience. So Websource most definitely is leading the pack. And just think about, all the different avenues that you can conduct business with them, that they make things so much easier. Website, really good, mobile responsive. You can handle your business on the website. They have the app. You can handle all of your business on the app. You come into the physical location. If you want to do it with a human, because we know, as we say, we're people first culture. We want to do it with people. We don't want to do it with the technology. You have the people there. You also have self-checkout there. You have the app, and you can pay on the app and go right over to collection. Or you can pay on the app and have delivery. And what I've noticed, because Websource puts so much time and energy and focus into training people, because like I said, even when you go into self-checkout, their screens have videos showing you how to use their systems, right? And they have screens on the side. They have TVs that are all showing you how to utilize their tools and platforms, right? You go into Massey, and the lines are still long, and nobody's in the self-checkout line. And this is what I mean when I say businesses need to spend more time training their customers how to do business with them if you want them to use the tools that you're putting out for them. The self-checkout line in Massey is forever empty. It don't even matter what location you go to. Self-checkout line is always empty because the people them that come into Massey, and Massey is not cheap, so you can't even say it's a certain class of society going into Massey. Can't even say that. Massey is not cheap. All right? And the self-checkout line is forever empty. And it's because these people don't know how to use it, and Massey hasn't spent a penny trying to train people and show people how to use it. However, people go into Websource and the human line is empty. And everybody else using the app and going right across to the collection line or self-checkout or paying on the app and having delivery. So think about that for once. Think about that as you listen to the episode. Think about what business do you conduct business with online? I think the worst, before I get out of here, I think the worst digital customer experience I've ever had in my life was Ministry of Legal Affairs. Ministry of Legal Affairs, if you are listening, and I know a lot of you guys listen to the podcast, Ministry of Legal Affairs has by far the absolute worst digital customer experience I've ever seen in my entire life. When I was trying to register a business, right, and this was ending of last year, I had to try to make an account. So first, I heard that you had to go through TT BizLink, all right? And I had a friend who was a lawyer who registered a business maybe 2 months before I registered a business. And she had to go into TT BizLink, into the physical office, to create an account in there. And then she had to go online to continue the registration. And then she was able to use her credit card to pay for the fees for everything. But it was a combination of you had to go in person to then go online and pay online. 2 months later, when I had to do my thing, they had said that you could register, you could create your TT BizLink account online. Didn't happen. I still had to go into TT BizLink. Sorry. I went, because my friend had told me what to do, I went into TT BizLink, and then they told me that, no, you have to, it's online now. So I'm like, oh, okay, great. So I go online. I try to register. I registered the account. But then you couldn't use your credit card. You had to go into the legal affairs and give cash so that they could load it to your online account. So I was like, this is madness, right? And then we found a separate website that wasn't a TT BizLink website. There was a separate website that you could use your credit card to add money to the account. And then the legal affairs website would pull the money from that separate account to pay for the fees. And it was like the most confusing process because we were on like 3 separate websites getting the world of different information. Listen to me. It was the worst experience ever because I'm like, yo, why am I on 3 separate websites to do this one thing? Why did we have to go in person to get the information? Oh, no, we're not doing it in the branch anymore. You have to do it online. But then you have to go into legal affairs to put money in your legal affairs account for them to top it up online. Listen, it was a mess. When I say mess, it was a mess. And then the whole process took about 2 weeks. And then what made it worse was when everything was done and I had to go and collect my documentation. I go to legal affairs. I give them my receipt to go collect my business registration document. The guy has to call upstairs to verify that the fees were paid. So he has to call a different department to verify. Listen to me. The guy who I'm collecting the documentation from, he has to call another department to see if the fees were paid because he cannot see if the fees are paid. So he calls the other department. And you know what the other department told him? Hey, Sherry's on lunch right now. When she comes back from lunch, then she could check the account for you. And the man hung up the phone. He's like, yo, bro, my bad. The girl that has to check to see if the fees are paid, she's on lunch. I'm like, so you mean to tell me in this entire brand spanking new legal affairs building, there's nobody else here who can check to see if the fees have been paid? He's like, nah, bro. It's just one person. So I had to go kill an hour. I had to go kill an hour, come back. The girl was then there. All she said was, yeah, his account, the fees are paid up. And then he was able to issue me my business registration. That was by far the worst digital customer experience that I've ever seen in my life. Because nothing is straightforward. The information is not on their websites, not the way that it's supposed to work. You're all over the place between online, offline. And then when you go to pick it up, They got to call somebody to go verify if the fees are actually paid or whatever. Legal affairs business registration was by far the worst, the absolute worst digital customer experience I've ever seen in my entire life. So think about that for a second. I would love to hear your comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop them in if you're gonna, if you see this post on social media, drop this in the comments. If you are listening to this podcast episode from any of the podcast platforms, I'd love to drop the comments in the reviews, man. I'd love to hear from it, man. Or just reach out to me on social media and let me know what your thoughts. Let me know who you think is the best digital customer experience you have seen in Trinidad and Tobago. Or maybe even in Jamaica or any of the other Caribbean islands, because I'd love to check out to see what those other companies are doing. And let me know what the worst is that you've seen. Let me know what the worst is that you've seen. All right? We'll keep this discussion alive. Maybe next year, one of the things that I've been thinking about doing is having an award ceremony, like having an award ceremony for like the Digi Awards. Best e-commerce, best marketing, best digital customer experience. Best mobile app. Like, I'd love to do that. I think that is something I need to really, I've thought about it since last year, and this year just kind of got away from me. Well, no, it didn't get away from me, but I've been busy. But that's something I'd love to do. That's something, I think that might be something in 2024 I look at doing. But I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear from you and get your thoughts. All right. So for me, Websource, by far, best digital customer experience. Website, the app, the setup in person, delivery, good customer service all around. All right, they are by far the best to me. Let me know what you think are the best to you and what the worst is to you. I gave you mine. If you enjoyed this episode, please listen. Go check out. If you enjoyed this episode, please rate the podcast. All the platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, they all have a rating system. So go rate the podcast. If you really enjoyed the episode, drop a review. Oh, before I go, what I also did was I love ChatGPT. There's so much use cases for ChatGPT. I almost forgot. No, we gotta say this. So what I did with ChatGPT was I gave ChatGPT 5 skyboxes: Websource, Jetpack, Aeropost, CSF, and Tropical Express. And I asked them, based on everything that these organizations do, can you rate from first to last out of the 5 who offers the best digital customer experience, right? And here is what ChatGPT had to say. So, based on the analysis of the content from the websites, here's ranking for the best digital customer experience. Number 1 is Websource. Why? The website offers a comprehensive set of tools and services, including a mobile app for tracking and payments, unrestricted shopping with the Miami address, and a variety of shipping services. The site is user-friendly, emphasizes hassle-free experiences, and promotes open communication with customers. Their engagement on social platforms also fosters community. Second is Aeropost. Aeropost provides a vast array of products, emphasizing the ability for customers to shop using a U.S. address. The verified seller's label can instill trust in buyers, and the platform offers a diverse product range. The site is designed to cater to international customers, making U.S. shopping more accessible. Number 3 is CSF. CSF Couriers offers a comprehensive set of services, a user-friendly interface, tools like package tracking and shipping calculator. Their emphasis on customer service and educational content also stands out. However, in terms of digital experience, it ranks slightly below Websource and Aeropost. Number 4 is Tropical Express. With over 30 years of experience, Tropical Express offers both air and sea shipping options. They have a clear focus on customer service with features like package tracking and their referral program. The company values multiple locations in Trinidad and Tobago, also add to its credibility. However, the website's design and user interface could be more modern and engaging. Tropical Express, your website is ass. I'm telling you that. Your website is terrible. And the 5th is Jetpack from Caribbean Airlines. Jetpack offers a clear call to action and emphasizes the benefits of its service, including free membership and competitive rates. The association with Caribbean Airlines adds to its trustworthiness. However, compared to the other sites, it offers fewer digital tools and features, and the overall digital experience seems a bit more limited. Let me see, what else does it say? In summary, while all 5 websites offer valuable services related to shipping and online shopping, Websource stands out for its comprehensive digital tools, user-friendly interface, and emphasis on customer engagement. However, it's essential to note that this ranking is based on what was actually provided on their platforms. So that's why I also gave my own experience as well, right? So I've used 3 out of the 5 skyboxes. But again, even with the other 2 that I have not used, I never really found an incentive to using them, while Websource just kept getting better and better and better and better. You're looking at all the other skybox companies around the country and you're like, yo, where is the money going? Like, y'all ain't upgrading nada. So I definitely wanted to get that out there before we close out the episode, because I had that down as something I was going to cover. And look, I was trying to sign off before completing the objective of today's episode, right? So let me know in the comments what you guys thought about, what your thoughts are. Best digital customer experience, worst digital customer experience. I'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed today's podcast episode, please rate the podcast. And if you really enjoyed it, please drop a review of the podcast, all right? You can learn more about building your digital presence and monetizing your platforms at KaronRose.com. Link to that in the show notes. And then to stay up to date on all things related to the podcast, check out Digipreneur FM, the website. Digipreneur.fm, the website. That'll be linked in the show notes as well. Go follow me over on social media, LinkedIn, Instagram. I'm the most active, TikTok, Facebook at KeronRosc. All right. And I am sure I will be speaking to you again before the week is done. Have yourself an enjoyable week ahead. Happy Halloween if you're into that whole type of thing. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next episode. Take care.
You've been listening to the Digiboss, Caron Rose. We hope your notepad was filled after this episode. Make sure to like, rate, and review the show. The learning doesn't stop, folks. And to make sure you don't miss any gems from the Digiboss, go over and follow him on all social media platforms at Caron Rose. Folks, don't just sit there with a notepad. We need you to implement at least one thing into your business before the next episode. That's the only way your business levels up. Thanks for listening to Digipreneur FM. Now go be great.